Prabha, Nirvignam Surmedeva, Sarvakareshi. Om Gan Ganpataye Namaha. So here we are. How many of us are here today? Today looks like it's thin participation. First, tell me, hope all of you are safe. Seeing and hearing what's happening in UK. I hope you all are safe. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I hope nothing much happening in and around your houses or where you stay. That's nice. That's nice. Too much of uproar happening in the world all across. We see UK, we see Bangladesh, we see, Israel, Iran, Pakistan, everywhere. We see a lot of things happening, and we'll just pray in the end that pray for everyone who's lost their dear ones or lost, everything that they have. So we'll pray for them to the Almighty in the end. So let's today, should we begin, Nehaji? Because do you want to wait for 1 or 2 minutes more for everyone to join?
So I think we'll begin because I'm conscious of your time ahead as well. So we'll start. People will join.
Okay, all right. So I'd said that I'll talk about Guru Purnima and why is Guru Purnima celebrated as Guru Purnima. So, you know, um, Guru Purnima is also known as Vyas Purnima. How many of you know that? No? Okay. So Guru Purnima, I hope everyone knows Ved Vyas. Ved Vyashi. Lovely. Panna, you have a beautiful bird behind you. So Guru Purnima is also called Vyas Purnima because it is the birthday of Rishi Ved Vyas, the one who gave us all the Vedas, the one who gave us the Ramayana, but the one who gave us the Mahabharata, So Guru Purnima is celebrated to celebrate his birthday, and that's how the ritual started because he is the ultimate Guru. Why he is the ultimate Guru? Because the knowledge today we all share, the knowledge today we all talk about, was actually written down by him and shared with us. Before that, all the knowledge was maukhik. So the knowledge, maukhik means by word, by teaching, by preaching. So the knowledge was passed out by a verbal teaching from Guru to the Shishya. That was the ritual followed by, India, in the Sanatan, even for that matter, in the other religions. This was practiced. But then it was realized that probably by this logic, it may get lost because number of people who were able to learn, acquire was reducing. And obviously, we all know that after the coming of Britishers, the Gurukul concept completely died. So, Rishi Ved Vyas was given, was guided by Ganesh ji and by Shiv ji to write the, all the scriptures and the knowledge that is existing with all of us. Now, I'll share with you a very beautiful story of how was he born, whose child he is, who is his mother, and you'll be surprised when you hear who his mother is. And what's his relation to Mahabharata? Rishi Vedvyas has a very, very pertinent role in the entire Mahabharata because he is the father of Pandav and Kaurav. So he's the father of Pandava and he's the father of Dhritarashtra and he's also the father of Vidur. We know all these three people from Mahabharata. It'll be nice if we can participate a bit, if it's not much of a trouble and if the admin allows me to do that. Okay, lovely. So would you like to participate? It'll be nice if I can hear from you. Do Do you all, Ramila ji? Yes, yes, Saroj ji. Would you like to tell us? Are you aware of Vidhur? No, you're not aware of Vidur. You're not aware of Dhritarashtra. You're not aware of. Okay. So I'll thank you so much, because this tells me that, I need to go a little more in details. So let me first begin by telling you, how was, Ved Vyasji born? Now, Ved Vyasji is the son of Rishi Parashar. We all have heard about Rishi Parashar. So he's one of the so when we say the Maharishis, he is one of the Maharishi. He is the one who has written a lot about astrology. In fact, the astrology practice that we practice today is called Parashari astrology. There are various forms of astrology. As we get into biology, or we get into mathematics, or we get into chemistry, there are multiple forms of chemistry: biochemistry, organic, inorganic. Same way, astrology too has a lot of branches, lot of sects, or a lot of way of reading it. Snadi astrology, KP astrology. There is Chalit, there is Transit, there is Parashari astrology. So largely, if we say there is Nadi, there is Gemini, there is Parashar astrology, and there is KP astrology. Largely, these four are the bigger ones, but then in them also there are multiple people following the multiple things, because different rishis worked on it. Now, Rishi Parashar was actually going for Ma's sadhana, Ma Durga's sadhana, Ma Lalita Tripur Sundari's sadhana, and he was kind of, he was going for a very big sadhana to meditate on Lalita Sahasranam. Lalita Sahasranam is the 1,000 names of Ma Lalita, of Durga. Ma Lalita is Tripur. She's Saraswati, she's Lakshmi, Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, and Mahaparvati, Mahadurga. So he was doing that, and he thought that when I come back, this is a very potent sadhana, and the sadhana is very important for this world. So when I come back, I would like to ensure that I pass away my knowledge to someone else, someone like my child or someone I know, and so that this can be taken forward. So while he was going for this sadhana, he had to cross a river, and he had to go on a hill to as a solitude to do his sadhana. And he had very little time to really marry and give birth to a child. So he reached the bank of a river, and he there met a fisherman and his daughter. And the fisherman was having food, or was busy in something, and fisherman had to. This fisherman also used to help people, cross the river from one bank to another bank. Now, Rishi Parashar wanted his help, but he was unable to do that because he was busy and he was actually very unwell. So Rishi Parashar thought, maybe I'll wait for a day. So they welcomed him, took care of him. But he was not able to recover, and he felt that he will not be able to recover soon, and he will not be able to help Rishi to cross the river and reach the other bank, so that Rishivar can go on the hill and do his sadhana. So he requested his daughter to do this task of sending Rishi from one bank to another. Now, his daughter's name was Matsya Gandha. Okay. Matsya Gandha, why? Because, and also one of her name was Kali. Matsya Gandha, because she was a daughter of a fish called Adrika. This fish was an Apsara, and she was, because of a curse, she became fish. And when she was cursed, she already had, she was already carrying. One of the fishermen, when wanted to, was into a fishing spree, he found this fish Adrika, and when he cut Adrika, he found two human children, and Matsya Gandha and her brother. So he was not capable of bringing up these two children. These two children had a very strong aura around them. So he felt, I'm not good at it. So he took both the kids to the king of the Matsya Naresh. So he was a king of Matsya kingdom. And he took those two kids over there, and the king kept the boy and returned the girl back to the fisherman. And then this fisherman started bringing up this girl called Kali and Matsyagandha. It was the same fisherman, and later on, that man, boy, became the king of Matsya world. And this girl, Matsyagandha, called and Kali, lived with him, and he was bringing her. So when they were crossing the river, Rishi Parashar was thinking, and this lady asked Rishi Parashar, Rishi, you are in a deep, intense thought, and you look stressed. Is there anything? What is the issue? So Rishi was a little hesitant to tell her because it was it was not a normal ask, and it was not a very comfortable ask for a Rishi to ask her for help. But still, he asked her. Here, I would like to warn everyone that I have read this story at a lot of places, and a lot of places people have said that Rishi Parashar had lustful thoughts for Matsya Gandha. Rishi Parashar had been meditating for thousands of years. So when you meditate and when you go for such sadhanas, and someone who's in astrology, this person, the first thing when you reach at a certain level is that you overcome a lot of vices of yours. So lobe, calm, anger, lust, greed, you overcome all those things. So Rishi Parashar never had lust for anyone. So Rishi Parashar requested her, saying that, I need your help. I'm going for this sadhana, and I am very sure that I will achieve siddhi on this sadhana. And I want that when I come back, someone is able to take this sadhana forward and pass it on to the world. And also, I have been blessed, and I have been asked by Brahma and Shiv that, you need to now bring in progeny of yours so that you can pass knowledge, the knowledge that you have to this person, and uh, it has to now spread to a larger world. So he requested Matsya Gandha to help him bear his child. Now, Matsya Gandha suddenly got very scared because, one, she was not married. Two, she was not she was not at all financially in a state where she could bring up a child, because barely she and her father were managing themselves. And then she thought, if this child comes, so one, she was not married, she was scared of society. And second, then third thing she thought was, if this child comes, she'll have to bring up the child and she'll never be able to marry because Rishi will go. So she'll not have any partner for herself. How will she live the entire life? Because she was too young. So she thought to herself, and then she said, I need to consult my father. So, Rishi waited for her. She consulted her father, and then she thought to herself that, I will agree with Rishi if Rishi grants me three boons. And those were: one, because she had always smelled, her name was Matsyagandha because she always had smell of fish from her body. So she said, first thing is that my body shouldn't smell like fish, because no one comes around me when, I smell like that. So my body shouldn't smell like fish. So the first wish was granted, and she started smelling of kasturi. Okay, she started smelling very beautiful and very nice perfume. Kasturi is one of the rarest of perfumes found, because the kasturi is the rarest of herbs found, or herb of perfume found in the world. So she started smelling of that. Second thing she said is that, uh, I'm happy to contribute to this cause of the world because it's an important cause and I understand what you mean. But you will ensure that I don't have to arrange for finances, and this all the finances or all the support, education, everything required for this child is taken care of. So I have enough money for it. And Rishi Parashar said, okay, this will be taken care of. The third thing she asked Rishi Parashar was that I will remain a virgin and I can marry someone I want to. And Rishi Parashar said, Absolutely, because I am not touching you. This will only be, through an energy that I'll pass it on to you. And through my energy, I will, leave a life, a soul in your womb. I'll not touch you. So you'll always be a virgin and you can marry. And no one will ever know unless you tell someone that this child is your child. Everything was agreed. And Rishi Parashar went for his sadhana, and she started living in a island where away from the society, so that she could give birth to this child. So this and then Rishi Vedvyas was born, and when he was born, um because his mother was dark complexion, he was also dark complexion. And anyone knows what was his original name? No? Okay. So Rishi Ved Vyas's real name was Krishna Dwapayan. Krishna because he was dark, and Dwapayan because he was born on a dweep, on an island. And obviously, because he was the child of Rishi Parashar, he was of great knowledge and great wisdom, and what we call is very high IQ and a very high spiritual quotient. And Matsya Gandha had to do nothing to bring up this child, and automatically, all the devs and the entire universe worked around to bring up this child, to educate this child, to grant him the knowledge. And just, I want wild guesses from you that who was Matsya Gandha? Who did she marry? Wild guesses. I would love to hear from you. Wild guesses. Even if it's wild, not okay, absolutely fine. I would love to hear from you. Anyone? Ilaji, Mintaji, Sarlaben, Urushiji, Ritaji, Kokilaji, Neha, any idea? Sarojji, Sir, also Renuka, Renuka written, sir, any idea you would have?
The Shantanu?
Absolutely. Beautiful. Satyavati, Shantanu's wife, who became the Maharani of the entire world. So she was Satyavati. She was Ved Vyasa's mother. And later on, we will say, I'll tell you why Ved Vyasji became the parents of this. And I think a lot of you would already know about it. And then we all are aware that, he wrote Ramayana, Mahabharata, and he wrote a lot of scriptures for us, because then was the time when we wanted to write the scriptures. And very interesting things, you would have heard the surnames Chaturvedi, Dvivedi, Trivedi. Now, Chaturvedi were people who knew for all the four Vedas by heart. So that particular sect started being called as Chaturvedi, and they were assigned the task to coach people, teach people all the four Vedas. Then Trivedi were three, Dvivedi were two, and then a lot of us. So this was, the story of Rishi Vyas. So Satyavati, because she never told that she had a child. She married Shantanu, and obviously she had become, and also she was blessed because she had the energy of Rishi Parashar. She also became beautiful, because Rishi Parashar passed on the energy, and naturally, when you get an energy of such uh, a strong person, such a spiritually elevated soul, then obviously we all start looking, anyone would look beautiful, because that energy is there. I mean, even if we start meditating for a few days, we feel that there is a beautiful aura around us. There is, we start shining, and we start feeling, very comfortable and happy and at peace within ourselves. So this was Satyavati. Now Satyavati was blessed with two sons, And she lost her elder son, and then she had one son whom she married with Ambalika and Ambe, Ambalika. So Amba not, but Ambe and Ambalika. But she lost him also. And since Bhishma Pitama had taken the pledge of not marrying and taking care of the kingdom, because she wanted her children to be the rulers, naturally they had to have children. They had to give progeny to this kingdom to be taken care of. And hence, when she lost all these, all both the sons, she asked her son Ved Vyas to come, because naturally, if it's her son, the progeny will be same. Ved Vyas to come, and Ved Vyas to bless Ambika and Ambalika with children. And by chance, Vidur's mother, who was the Dasi, was also there. And Ambalika got, because the energy was too much, Ambalika got too scared and she closed her eyes. And that's why Dhritarashtra was born blind. And Pandu was born fine. And Vidur also was born as a very intelligent person, because he was Vedvyasa's son. So this is the story of Guru Purnima. And because he is the ultimate, we celebrate Guru that day as Guru Purnima. And also he was born on Purnima. Now, if we see, we will see a lot of saints who are born either on a Purnima, or on Amavasya. A lot of them. And there's a reason for it. I'll come. Okay. Any questions on this? And I'll just explain you the concept of this through astrology. Thank you,
No, I
Neha
think
ji,
we're fine.
Thank you so much for writing the names. So please don't when they say that a lot of places it is written that there was he felt lust towards Matsya Gandha. It is not true. None of the rishis can be lustful, because if they are lustful, they come in the category of Rakshasas. Rakshasas are the people who do not have control over their Indriyas. So why were they called Rakshasas? Is because the Indriyas used to govern them, and they had control over it. So it's actually also symbolic for us. If we become dependent to our senses, eyes, ears, tongue, then we become like demons, because we get into the surplus, we get into excessive. So we like watching movies. My eyes and my man is saying that we just go on watching series one after the other, one after the other. We don't realize what happens in time. So anything whenever done in excess becomes a Rakshasi Parvati. And that's why it becomes tamasic or rajasic, because then you start getting a self pride of it, or you start getting tied to that particular, you know, whatever vice it is, drinking, smoking, watching movies, watching porn, eating, overeating, excessive eating. That's also Rakshasi. That's why you would find that lots of demons were either they would eat a lot, or they would sleep a lot, or they would, get into tasks, things which are not suitable as per the society. So, as it is said in our Shastra, sarva ati sarvatra varjit. So, excess everywhere is not a good idea. Actually, budget means stopped or held up. But it said that, anywhere it is too much, it's not good. So, so when I was talking to you about this Puran Mashi and about Amavasya. Now, our mental strength is governed by two planets. One is Sun and the Moon. Sun, as I told last time, is our soul, Atma. So, a lot of character of ours comes through Atma. So, if I am a smoker and I have to leave smoking, Sun and Mars are the one that support me because that strengthens my soul. That's my soul. But if it's cheating, if it's robbery, if it's telling a lie, or if it's sticking to my character, that's Moon, Man. And that's why it said that, mind is like a monkey. It keeps wandering from here to there. And we have a lot of mood swings, and Moon is responsible for it. And a very good example of Moon is uh, anyone around oceans or beaches can see the waves, high tide and low tide. So around the full moon, we see a lot of high tides. And that's because moon is a water body, and moon has a relationship with water, and there's a scientific phenomena we all have read and we know. Now, moon is governs our mind. Moon changes a particular sign. It travels 30 degrees in about 2 to 2.5 days. Okay, 2 quarter to 2.5 days. And that's why our mood changes. We have a lot of mood swings. Today we feel like doing something, tomorrow we feel like doing something. And moon goes from a new moon to full moon, and full moon to no moon to new moon. Right? Amavasya is when we have no moon. Now, so there is a strength of moon that we say from Ashtami to Ashtami. So Ashtami of Krishna Paksh to Ashtami of Shukla Paksh, as we say that the moon is very strong. And in these two periods, the full moon comes. So when there is full moon, people who have born on Purnamashi, you would see that they're very strong in their character. They're very strong. They can control themselves much more because they are born when the moon is full. The moon is the strongest. And people who are born on Amavasya are the ones who actually have no thought process, no, because they're born on a dark night, on a no moon day. They virtually are very detached because they are not associated with anyone through emotions. Moon is the emotion, so they are virtually easily very detached with the world. So it's easy for them to give up what they have and to grow to in the direction of spirituality. So a lot of people who are into spirituality are either on Amavasya or on Purnamashi, or those periods of the strength of moon. So this is and that's why Rishi Vedvyas was born on Purnima, and a lot of rishis were born on Purnima. We see a lot of saints today who are elevated souls. If we just pick up their chart, we will see that they're born on Amavasya. But we see a lot of people in Bollywood born in the period after the Ashtami of the moon, where the moon is not that strong. And people from Bollywood or Hollywood who are born from Shukla Paksh, Krishna Paksh Ashtami to Purnamashi are the ones who are very dreamy, who are very, very successful, because they are very emotional. They understand emotions, hence they can act better. So this is what last time I promised we'll talk about Ved Vyasji, and we'll talk of Guru Purnima. So now when you pay obeisance to your gurus, or the Jagat Guru Sri Krishna, or the Jagat Guru Hanuman. So there are two Jagat Gurus for Kalyug, Hanumanji and Sri Krishna. You will understand that why is it so. Why is he called Jagat Guru, and why is okay, Krishna's Jagat Guru is a separate thing. Why we celebrate Guru Purnima? Any questions anyone has? It's a very low energy house today, Dr. Neha.
Yes, I think we all are very mesmerized with the story you told us. It looks like we were all part of that story and the life of Veda Vyasji. I
Or is it
think
that it's little early in the morning for
no,
everyone?
no, no. I don't
They
think
haven't
it's
had their
early.
breakfast or finished their chores, and while you're winding up your things at home, um, people are.
Fridays usually slows us down.
Yeah. Every day I think it's a little early for women to finish up all the chores and then get back to the sessions. Yes, Pannaji.
Tell me, do we have to fast on Guru Purnima?
No,
We don't.
no. See, fasting. The beautiful thing about Sanatan is that fasting is not compulsory anywhere. It is a choice, and fasting started by two logics. One was health, one was detoxing, and which is what Ayurveda. That's how when we talk of Vat, Pitta, Kapha. um, Nehaji would know this better. Vat, Pitta, Kapha we talk of. That's when it was brought in that you should fast. Also because universal energies and body's energy, all that stuff. It was said fast. Second thing for the fast was very, very important, which we don't practice now. We have forgotten is that you the share of food that you have to eat on that day is given to someone else. So that was another thing of fasting.
So,
Very, very important.
so you're saying the food we have made on that particular day, we give it to somebody. We
Well,
don't
it
eat.
can either be the food you have made on that day for yourself, but it was not the cooked food. It was the grains, the cereals that you would cook for yourself on that day.
Okay.
You give it as it is raw to someone. So you can either cook it and give it to someone, or you can give it raw to someone. So the idea was that, it's easy for us to live without food for 2 days, 3 days in a week,
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
offer that meal to someone else. So this was actually a way to bring up that bonding of a society, that we are all equal. So even if someone from a different level is not eating today and offering the grains to us, we will accept it. And that is why it was said that offer to the cow, offer to crow. Because today there is so much of population and surplus of food. I mean, we just especially in West, children don't like anything, they just dump it in the dustbin. It's easy. Oh, you don't like it, just dump it. I didn't like it, just pick it up and dump it. So yesterday I had a child who's from UK only. I was doing a session with that child, and I had offered him something. So he picked up one, he tasted, he didn't like, he left it aside. He picked up another, he tasted, he didn't like, naturally, because tastes of things from India and are different. So, and he didn't had tea, he didn't like the taste of tea. Then, so it's okay for them to leave it as it is and throw it in the bin. So he just got up and threw everything in the bin. But for an Indian, it's a heartache, because we say that food is equivalent to devtas, because
That's
Ma Annapurna.
yeah.
So that is why it was important. There were a lot of people who did not get food because we did not have that parity. So these two things are very important. Even if you don't, really fast that way, but once a week, offering food to someone else was very important in our culture.
Okay. So I'm thinking in this level, giving somebody the food. For example, on Nom, we eat 9 different lentils together. We mix the lentil. So instead of giving to the birds or animals, I have donated to a samaj to cook it and feed 300 people. Is that very similar by giving food?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what it is. So you know what? The highest form of service to human race or to God
Hmm.
is one seva.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the highest form. One
Hmm.
is seva. Then is bhakti, of course, which is naturally that you do bhakti. Prem, okay, that you love each other. And you know what? There is no English word for prem
No.
because love is not prem. Prem is like, beautiful example of prem is Meera.
Hmm.
Very beautiful. Kabir.
Hmm.
They're very beautiful examples of prem, where you don't have any expectations. It's a one-sided love, but
Hmm.
it's a beautiful emotion. In fact, Meera's husband also is a beautiful example of, Ratan Singh Ji is a very beautiful example of prem because he never had any physical relationship with Meera, but
Hmm.
he loved her a lot. He never married also, and he let her be. And that's how, beautifully God helps us in our journey. So because Meera was in love with Lord Krishna in that journey of spirituality, he brought Ratan Singh Ji in his life
Okay.
so that she could get on with that journey without any complications.
Hmm.
So that's these are few things, and that is why you see in our culture there is called Kanya Dan. We don't say
Anyadan.
that you give away the girl to someone else. It's
Oh,
Dan,
yeah.
and it's the highest form of Dan, Gaudan,
Hmm.
highest form of Dan.
Hmm.
Because cow is used, everything of the cow we use it for some purpose, everything. There's nothing that goes waste of a cow. Urine is very, very useful.
Hmm.
The fish species is very, very useful. Milk is useful. So everything about the cow is very useful. So dan, of course, seva and dan, these are the very, very important things. So whosoever fasts should actually ensure that you keep out one portion of what you're supposed to eat to someone.
Yeah. Well, in the well, when my parents were alive, and they the one who taught me, saying, okay, before you start eating, obviously you sprinkle water around your thali, and then take out the first bite for whoever. We give it to the birds anyway, because back home we didn't have cows, but we had birds. So we gave it to the birds, and then we ate our nivada. So I followed that till now, especially in the Shravan Mass. I make sure if I'm eating twice, then I make sure I take it out twice. But obviously, I'm fasting, so I do it once a day. I do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's very nice. And there's a logic behind, why we sprinkle water around. Because in earlier days, water is supposed to be the most purest form, you know. So even when we start our yagya or any sadhana, we chant the pavitrata mantra, and we do the pavitrata of our surroundings through water,
Hmm.
right? Uh, you know, so and so water was sprayed around was to ensure that no insects, because earlier they were kacha houses,
Yeah,
mud houses, and
Matika
people
house.
used to eat
Yeah,
on the ground. So one concept was when you sprinkle water around your plate, the small insects or microbes,
get
they
to
will
the
not
water.
they
Yeah.
will not come into your area. So till the water is there, they'll not be able to cross it. That was a very scientific uh, thing that people used to do. And actually, that bite was a smarter thing of giving to the smaller. So, if in a family there are 5 people, they will leave a bite and it can go to a cow and all.
Cow. Yeah.
But actually, we should offer one naivedyam bhog to the Lord. So, if you do that every day, then you don't have to take out that portion.
Hmm.
So you can do one bhog, whatever you have cooked today, whatever it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
absolutely okay, even if it's cooked with onion and garlic. Because ultimately this is, except non-veg, if it's Devi, if it's Ma, you can offer non-veg, also depends on which deity you're praying to. But if it's Vishnu, and if it's Hanuman and Ram, then and Krishna, then you offer the sattvic food.
Yeah.
And whatever you've cooked. I mean, it can be anything. Even if it's a shake, you can offer a shake also to God. So it is the bhava that, it's the emotions that we offer. So once if you've done that, you may not take out that particular bite. Because, at that point, a bite was more than enough to give it to someone. But today, that bite has no relevance. Unless offered to a bird, and then if the birds are able to have it.
Yeah. Well, my husband always tells me off every time I do it at night time, because I used to have my main meal at night, and he used to get mad with me. He said, "Don't do that, because the rats are everywhere. It just increases and invites the rats to come."
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so now I tend to have my main meal at lunchtime and give it to the birds, because the birds do come at lunchtime.
But you can keep it for the next day and offer it the next day, unless
Next
it's
time,
getting
yeah,
spoiled. Yeah. If it's
yeah,
winters, you can leave it for the next day. But if it's summers,
yeah,
then obviously. So
yeah.
the better practices, you can make one chapati and extra, or whatever, rice or a bread extra, and give it to someone. You know, in that whole day, you just offer one naivedyam and give it to someone.
But you know what? I also realized that when we on the big days, we've got katha, for example, and we're going to feed people at home, and when we make the food, there is no garlic and no ginger. Sorry, no garlic and onion used for that particular session. Why?
Okay.
Otherwise, we make other food like Shravan Mas. We make the food and we offer it to bhog. We offer the bhog, and that has onion and garlic.
So in Shravan Mas, you offer onion and garlic, but otherwise you don't.
You don't.
Okay. So, it's actually an individual belief. So if you come to India, in Shravan Mas, people don't eat non-veg, people don't eat onion, people don't eat garlics,
Okay.
right? It's an individual belief. But ideally, see, a food made out of onion and garlic becomes tamasic. Why is it called tamasic and rajasic as well? Why is it called tamasic and rajasic? Is because they are hot food. Onion and garlic produce heat, even ginger produce heat. Plus, they have certain chemicals which which easily cause anger. That's why these food were called as tamasic. Okay. So, and that is why anything which has any vices, or which can inculcate any vices in you. Also, after eating too much of garlic and onion, you could get a bad odor, around. And if you eat too much of garlic and onion, your body smells, perspiration smells. So
Yeah.
then it became tamasic, and that is why tamasic changes your thought process. It's like you are made up of what you eat. Your thought process is what you eat. So if you eat sattvic, you remain sattvic in terms of your thought process. If you eat too much of non-veg or garlic or onion, you become a little more stronger, right? Mentally you become more stronger. Mentally you become more aggressive at time. You become more stronger. Your thought processes become more stronger. And that's why, if you see, we all can observe the earlier generations were more malleable because they used to eat lesser of meat. I mean, meat is something which is eaten in our society. It's accepted. It's not that we can't eat non-veg. A lot of cultures eat non-veg and it is accepted. So if you go to Shaivism, and if you go to Kashmiri Shaivism, a lot of non-veg is eaten because it was culturally, it was difficult for them to get vegetation. So it was accepted. So they even offer on Shivratri, they offer, gosht to Shivji. So it is not that there is a simple no that you can't eat these things, but it's just that behaviorally, we become more aggressive with these food items. And hence, because God to us is Soumya, God to us is a softer form, God to us is someone who has control over all the vices. We don't offer non-veg, we only offer sattvic. Now, someone asked the question, why do we offer non-veg? Or there's a very, very strong Bali Pratha to Devi, to Ma. Now, if you see, Ma needs a lot of energy to fight. Ma has fought Durga in her various forms, has fought all the demons. Most of them. And won over. So she has a different kind of energy, Ma Kali. So these are the Rudra forms of energies, Bhairav. Certain forms of Shiv, Jalandhar, Andhakasur. Although they are form of Shiv, but they were born with a different purpose, right? They were brought into this world for a different purpose. So they needed different kind of energies. And that's why Bali Pratha happened. Because, to satisfy Ma who's angry, because she's born with that energy that she has to kill people, to keep her calm, the Bali Pratha was there. Right? Also, I'll share a very, very beautiful example with you. I told you I went to Varanasi, and I'll share with you some very interesting experiences of Varanasi and the temples I visited. Hardly any people know those temples that I visited. I was in that boat taking that ghat ride, and I asked this was a young boy, 18 some boy. I asked him, I said, are there fishes in this water? He said, lots of them. So I asked him, I said, do you eat fish? He said, yes, I eat fish. And then he started laughing, and he said, you know what, auntie, if we don't eat these fishes, then there are so many fishes that we won't be able to survive. The water is so good, and people are feeding them always. They keep getting food. Someone puts atta, someone puts chana, someone, the ashes and all that stuff. So the reproduction of the fishes is too large, and fishes any which way lay a lot of eggs at any given point in time. So they said that, the fishes will eat us, so we have to eat the fishes. So you see that people who lived around the seashore always ate fishes. There was a logic around, always ate seafood. There was a logic around. One, they found earlier that transportation wasn't there, that food would be transported from one place to another, or if there's vegetable happening somewhere else, it will reach the seashore, people living in. They actually started adapting and eating whatever was available closer to them. And had they not eaten them, they would have been eaten by, it's a question of survival. And so the Bali Pratha and so the non-veg is actually accepted in our culture. But yes, one thing is very clear in our culture, that don't hurt anyone. Be compassionate. And compassionate also doesn't represent the Hindi meaning of the word karuna. Karuna is a very different word as compared to compassion. Compassion can only be that understanding, but karuna is, feel for that person, feel the emotion. That's karuna. If they're sad, feel sad. If they're happy, feel happy. If they're concerned, feel concerned for them. Compassion is a little different. So karuna actually is a very, very different word which encompasses a lot of emotions, which at times when we translate, we miss it. And that's why we don't have those bhav. So this is the reason why garlic and onion is not offered to God. But actually, if you offer, like for example, personally, I offer anything that I cook in the Naivedyam, anything it could be. Even if I'm eating a sandwich today, I'm offering sandwich to God. So if it's got an onion, I mean, there are days when I cook rajma, or although I make food without onion at home, but sometimes I make rajma and chole, onion and garlic. I offer it to Almighty. It's all He has given it to us. And he's okay with it as long as we are able to control ourselves with it. So that is why that thing was brought in that, if you have to offer bhog to God, better it is not with onion, garlic. Also, one more thing. When you do a prasadam and there are people around you eating onion, garlic, the whole space starts smelling, right? So it was also from a society perspective and largely from tamas perspective, largely from our vices, our expressions. When you eat this food, we are more softer.
Yeah.
You were
So it's
saying
very,
something, Panachi.
yeah, so it's very similar. Like in the heat, if we eat fresh methi, your body starts smelling. I noticed that not with me, but I noticed that with somebody, and then I'm a very open person, so I tell that person, "Did you eat methi today?" And she would say yes. You know.
See?
So
Yeah, see?
yeah, it does make difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that is why it said, thank you very much, Nidhi ji, for all your explanation. So I think that is why it is said that Hinduism is a way of life. It's practical. So, makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Absolutely. Sanatan is a way of life, and Sanatan is a very tolerant, I wouldn't say religion, it's more of no, Sanatan is dharma. Dharma and religion are very different. We can't call dharma as a religion. Dharma means the right and the wrong. Dharma means the right way of living, righteousness. That's dharma. Religion can at times get into a, a space of right and wrong, that what I follow is right, what you follow is wrong. But Sanatan is dharma, righteousness, right? The right way of leading life. And it says everyone who is doing it is right. Everyone. And that's why we respect everyone. So we can, you take us to a church, we are happy to go. You take us to a mosque, we are happy to go. You take us anywhere, we are happy to go because we feel it's one. Ek omkar.
Yeah.
So anyone has any questions? Or do we end our session?
Even if we have a WhatsApp group, just to remind everybody, feel free to write your questions. The next session, Nidhi will incorporate all those also in our discussion. But it was a wonderful session, Nidhi, as always. Many things to clarify, many things to understand, not only from astrological science, but also health perspective. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just want to say that, these are not separate things, because when we get deeper into astrology, this is also a part of astrology. When we say that, Mars is tamas, and as a vegetation, Mars is garlic or onion, then we will understand that why is Mars a garlic and an onion, because a sportsman or a person in forces has to have a very strong Mars. Now, someone who's in a forces or is deputed in a forest, where will they find vegetation? They will just find any animal around, kill it and eat it. It's a question of survival. Or a sportsman. A sportsman needs a lot of proteins, needs a lot of energy. So this person has to eat non-veg, has to eat garlic, has to eat onion, because they need that heat and aggression in the body. So this is actually astrology, and very thank you, Neha pointing this out, because in astrology, a lot of, and in the astrology also divides these planets and these signs into the doshas, Vat, Pit, Kapha, into the three doshas. So each planet has a Vat, Pit, and Kapha. So, for example, a Shani has a Vat, a Moon has a Kapha, a Mars has Pit, Mercury has Vat, and that is why Mercury is communication. That's why Moon is Chanchal. The Moon moves around. It's Vat. It's Kapha. So sorry, it's Kapha. So it's move around. That's why you find that you catch cold, and if you start observing that, chances are that you start catching cold when the moon is little more, weaker. Interestingly, you observe these phenomena. So it's a beautiful, this is a whole very, very beautiful science. If we take out this blinker off, it's a superstition, it's not true, we will be able to understand the science. It's a deep rooted and a very simple science.
So is that that's how a lot of astrologers, they also look into the medical aspect, and is that medical astrology?
Absolutely. There is a field of astrology called medical astrology.
Yeah.
And a lot of doctors have written books on it. A lot of doctors have got into medical astrology and they've written books on it. So, and that's, it's very accurate. In my personal life, I have had some experiences where my clients came and said that, doctor is wanting to meet you because they said, how could you gauge it? How could you see it? Because, at times the treatment is going wrong, and, we saw that the treatment was going wrong. So we said, it's probably the medicine which is causing an issue. And 2 days later, the medicine changed, and doctor said, yeah, medicine is causing the issue. Medicine is changing. So when your client goes back and talks to the doctor and say, oh, my astrologer had said this, so they wonder. And in one of my cases where one of my client had cancer, I was very closely associated with them for the entire journey. Somehow by his grace, he was using me as a messenger to guide them. Most of the things that I was telling were kind of coming true. And then the doctor said, okay, what did your astrologer say? Let me think on that. And I want to meet your astrologer. So this is the kind of science and knowledge that we have with us. It's just that it needs too much of time to read, too much of time to understand and practice. So what happens is that when we start, we studied for 2 years and we feel we know it all, and we start practicing, there's where we lose touch. 2 years is nothing for this. It's like medicine. The more you have to study all your life. So as an astrologer, we have to study all our life.
It would be very interesting, personally to me, but I'm sure for others also, to hear you on medical astrology. Again, just very general, what we can understand, how we can take care of ourselves. I had just had the glimpse of that, but I'm fascinated. And that's where, you come to us. So, and
sure,
anytime
once we understand the planets, then I'll explain it to you. What is a Kalpurush Kundli? Which planets represents which body part, which planet causes what ailments, and which is the bhava, and we can then get medical astrology is a very, very vast field, and there's a whole lot of things to talk on it. But medical astrology is always taken with a very caution when it's told to people, because then like you see people do self-medication. Here also people start doing that self-medication, and they start seeing this chart. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that. So, but the interesting thing is not just one combination. Make sure that you have, that ailment. So if I have to see cancer, I have to see 5, 6 combination to make sure that yes, it is cancer.
Like any other science.
Yeah. So
there's always risk and benefit,
absolutely.
And the perfect expert is the one who weigh both equally. So absolutely. Thank you for that, and we look forward to hearing you next week. Thank you, everyone, and thank you.
I would request all of you, if you want to, if you want to learn about anything, you can share the topic with me, and I'll come prepared with that topic, and I can talk about that. Anything, any subject you want to know about, I'll be happy to share, because it's knowledge shared is knowledge doubled. I always feel that knowledge is something that has to be shared. It cannot be kept at one place.
Yes, Vimlaji.
And you're doing a great task, Pannaji and Nehaji. This is such a wonderful thing that you're doing of spreading knowledge.
Thank you.
Vimlaji, not without you.
So, yes, not without you. Vimlaji, yes, Nidhi does do Kundlis, so if you want to get in touch with her directly, her number is in WhatsApp, and I will put it down for you if you need it. Otherwise, yes,
And I'm
please
just running a
contact her
special
directly.
offer. I'm running a special offer for Rakhi here. So you all can avail that benefit of the offer. So it's almost 25%, 24% discount is there because it's 2024, but it's almost about 25% discount. So anyone wants to avail that offer, feel free.
Yes, thank you. That is also in the WhatsApp group. So if you want to, please get in touch with Nidhi ji, and we shall catch up next week.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
let's do one prayer for everyone in the world because world is going through tough time. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukha bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.